Imagine a world where AI robots live among us as workers, companions, and even protectors until one of them destroys everything we hold dear. In this action-packed tale of betrayal, love, and redemption, humanity faces off against its greatest creation. Brace yourself for a journey through war-torn cities, mind-bending revelations, and a mission so daring it could change the fate of two worlds. Welcome to The Sims War Saga. This story is one you'll never forget. On an alternate version of Earth, humanity takes a bold step into the future by creating robots powered by cutting-edge AI called simulants, or simply Sims. These advanced machines integrate seamlessly into daily life, serving as workers, companions, athletes, and even enforcers of law. To make them more relatable, humans volunteer to have their facial features replicated for these machines, giving the Sims an eerie human-like quality. In 2055, a devastating incident changes everything. A nuclear warhead detonates in Los Angeles, claiming nearly 1 million lives. The culprit? A government-created Sim. This catastrophe unites the Western world in banning all AI, but New Asia takes a different path, embracing Sims as equal members of society. Tensions rise as the United States declares a mission to eradicate Sims, launching relentless assaults on New Asia. Their trump card? The Nomad, a colossal space station designed to locate and eliminate Sims from orbit with devastating precision. The US military's ultimate goal is to capture Nirmata, the enigmatic genius behind AI's evolution. A decade later, American forces storm the coast of New Asia, their movements tracked by the ever-watchful Nomad above. Joshua, a man with a troubled past, lives quietly with his pregnant wife Maya, who bears a distinctive tattoo. When suspicious sounds echo nearby, Joshua, equipped with robotic limbs, investigates. He discovers Sim guards led by Haroon, who have captured an American soldier named Drew. Under pressure to reveal his mission, Drew stays silent, even as the Nomad edges closer. Haroon's group hastily prepares to flee, and Maya packs for their departure. Left alone with Drew, Joshua's duplicity is revealed. He's an undercover American soldier married to Maya to gain access to her father, Nirmata. As the situation spirals into chaos, American forces raid the area, sparking a fierce confrontation. Joshua pleads over Drew's radio to halt the harm, claiming Nirmata isn't there. Maya overhears and confronts Joshua, devastated by his betrayal. Before she can act, soldiers storm in, dragging Joshua away as Maya escapes with the Sims. Tragically, Nomad launches a missile, obliterating the fleeing group, leaving Joshua to grieve alone. 5 years later, Joshua struggles to adapt to civilian life in the U.S., haunted by PTSD. As part of a cleanup crew at Ground Zero, he encounters a damaged Sim that suddenly activates, pleading for mercy. Joshua coldly shuts it down, dismissing it as a mere machine. Despite his stoic demeanor, memories of Maya haunt him, particularly her skill in customizing his robotic limbs after he lost them, and his family in the Los Angeles explosion. Joshua's quiet life is disrupted when General Andrews and Colonel Howell recruit him for a critical mission. Intelligence suggests Nirmata is building a superweapon capable of destroying the Nomad, a potential game-changer in the war. Joshua initially refuses, bitter over the loss of his wife. But Howell presents irrefutable evidence. Maya is alive and connected to the superweapon. Torn between anger and hope, Joshua agrees to join the mission. Under the cover of darkness, Joshua leads a team into New Asia. Guided by Nomad scans, they land near a village built atop Nirmata's lab. The soldiers interrogate the locals, uncovering the hidden lab entrance when a child's gestures reveal its location. Inside, the team battles through corridors, eliminating technicians and hacking doors. Joshua is stunned to discover a Sim child in the lab, a feat previously thought impossible. When a scientist unalived himself to help the child escape, Joshua follows her outside, only to witness chaos as the mission crumbles. Bradbury, one of the soldiers, faces an ambush and triggers her missiles, causing massive destruction before succumbing to a fatal bomb planted on her. The surviving team scrambles to escape, but Nomad's bombardment scatters them. Joshua awakens on a boat, confronted by the child sim. Initially hostile, he soon realizes her extraordinary abilities when she manipulates devices with a simple gesture. To his shock, she is the rumored superweapon. As Joshua processes this revelation, Howell contacts him, demanding the child to be unalived. Their conversation is cut short when Howell is ambushed, leaving Joshua to decide the child's fate. She is swiftly apprehended and thrown into a van with McBride and Officer Bowie. Meanwhile, Joshua hesitates before using his weapon after noticing the girl sketching Maya's tattoo. The tense moment is interrupted by the arrival of a farmer who vows to protect Alfie. Joshua's translator uncovers Sim's plans, prompting Joshua to act preemptively, injuring the farmer but inadvertently alerting the authorities to their whereabouts. Joshua urgently questions Alfie about Maya's location, and she reveals that Maya is in Dien Dang. Before they can process the information, police surround the house and open fire. Joshua quickly pulls Shipley and Alfie into the farmer's truck. A thrown grenade threatens their escape, but a dog heroically retrieves it, carrying it outside where it detonates, eliminating the pursuing officers. Using her powers, Alfie starts the truck, allowing them to narrowly escape. Elsewhere, McBride and Howell conspire to eliminate Bowie, hijacking the van to track down Joshua. On the journey, Shipley, gravely wounded, points a weapon at Joshua and demands medical attention. Joshua explains the distance to an American base is too great and offers to take Shipley to a trusted friend instead. Unfortunately, Shipley succumbs to his injuries en route. As a car approaches, Joshua disguises Alfie's robotic identity by hiding her head under a hat and nicknames her Alfie, inspired by the Alpha Omega text on her ear. Joshua confronts the car's driver, using a weapon to demand transportation into the city. Later, McBride and Howell stumble upon the abandoned car and Shipley's lifeless body. Howell employs a device to transfer Shipley's consciousness into Bowie's simulation for a brief 30 seconds. Overwhelmed, Shipley panics but manages to reveal Joshua's intent to meet a friend before fading again. At a checkpoint that evening, authorities scrutinize the car due to wanted alerts for Joshua and Alfie. Joshua hides while Alfie uses her abilities to cause a blackout, diverting attention with sparks from a nearby sign. She reactivates the vehicle, navigating it to the city and evading capture. However, the police alert spreads, and McBride and Howell quickly catch wind of their escape. Meanwhile, another officer resembling Bowie, derived from the same donor, discovers the scene of their earlier escape. In the city, Joshua presses Alfie for directions to Dien Dang, but she remains silent. Just then, the authorities close in, forcing Joshua and Alfie to flee aboard a train. Joshua becomes disoriented upon encountering numerous simulations resembling Maya. During the ride, Alfie questions the nature of existence. Joshua solemnly explains the concept of heaven for good people, but expresses doubts about his own worthiness. Alfie worries she might never qualify because she isn't human. As Joshua dozes off, memories resurface of Drew assigning him a covert mission to marry Maya for intelligence gathering. Drew had given him a wedding ring containing a hidden tracker. Disembarking from the train at night, Joshua notices their wanted images displayed across city screens. A vigilant citizen reports them, prompting Joshua to lead Alfie to a simulation factory where his old friend Drew resides. Drew, disillusioned with his previous stance, has become pro-AI and is romantically involved with a simulation named Kemi. Joshua implores Drew to unlock Maya's location from Alfie's encrypted system. When this proves impossible, Drew suggests tracking the wedding ring instead. He reveals that Maya is presumed dead, but Joshua refuses to accept it. While Kemi entertains Alfie, Drew privately informs Joshua of a startling discovery. Alfie's powers are in their infancy, but will eventually enable her to control all technology remotely. Alfie senses impending danger and alerts Kemi, but the visitor turns out to be a food delivery person who is actually a disguised Bowie. Accompanied by a squad of officers, Bowie detonates a bomb hidden in the delivery, unaliving Kemi. The officers storm the building to capture Alfie, but Joshua arrives in time to fend them off. Amid the chaos, Joshua uses an officer's weapon to neutralize the remaining threats while Alfie calmly watches television. With reinforcements closing in, Joshua escapes with Alfie and a grieving Drew. Howell and McBride arrive shortly after, scavenging Kemi's remains for potential data. Drew traces the wedding ring to Joshua's former residence. Upon arrival, Joshua discovers the ring on a flooded floor and reviews security footage of an earlier harm. Frustrated, he yells at Alfie, making her cry. Realizing his mistake, Joshua apologizes, finally acknowledging Alfie's humanity. Drew rushes in with a warning of an imminent harm, but is struck down. Before dying, Drew reveals that Maya is Nirmata, the very figure targeted 5 years ago, withheld from Joshua due to his love for her. Soldiers led by Haroun capture Joshua, knocking him unconscious. Aboard a ship, Joshua learns more about Maya's legacy. Haroun explains that Maya inherited the Nirmata mantle after her father's death. Contrary to human accusations, the nuclear disaster in LA was a programming mishap blamed on machines. Haroun shares the Sims' true goal: peaceful coexistence, not conquest. The army exploits Joshua's emotional ties to Maya to manipulate him into locating her. Nomad's harm interrupts Haroun's plans, allowing Joshua to escape into the sea with Alfie's help. Presumed dead, Joshua hides under the departing ship. Reaching the city, Joshua observes harmony between humans and Sims, even witnessing grieving ceremonies for fallen robots. That evening, he disables Haroun and attempts to flee with Alfie on a boat. Alarms blare as massive tanks arrive, wreaking havoc. Witnessing the destruction, Alfie decides to fight for her people, leaving Joshua behind. The intense battle sees losses on both sides. Howell deploys crude, explosive robots across the battlefield, only for Alfie to intervene, using her powers to deactivate the destructive machines. McBride appears unexpectedly, firing a shot that incapacitates Alfie. Overcome with fury, Joshua lunges at him, ending McBride's life. With Alfie unconscious, the bomb reactivates, forcing Joshua to flee with her in his arms as the bridge crumbles behind them. Haroun offers to lead Joshua to Nirmata, promising that Alfie can be repaired, while their allies continue to battle the relentless forces. Nearby, Howell reassembles Kemi, persuading her for information before unaliving her once again. During the journey, Haroun reveals a startling truth. Maya had completed Alfie just days before the harm by scanning her own embryo. This revelation means Alfie is a digital reincarnation of Joshua and Maya's deceased child. When they reach a secluded monastery, monks take Alfie into a sanctum. Joshua, searching for answers, asks if this place is Diendang. A monk explains the term translates to heaven, implying Maya's passing. Grieving, Joshua ventures into the sacred chamber where he finds Alfie rejuvenated beside Maya's preserved body, which is sustained by a machine. A monk explains Maya has been in this state for years, neither alive nor truly gone. Since the Sims are forbidden from harming Nirmata, Joshua must bear the responsibility of disconnecting her. Tears streaming, he apologizes to Maya and turns off the machine, ending her prolonged existence. At that moment, American forces storm the temple, mercilessly eliminating the Sims. Howell confronts Joshua and begins transferring Maya's consciousness onto a storage chip. Haroun intervenes, firing Howell, but is himself got unalived by other soldiers. In a desperate move, Howell inspects Haroun, unaware of the bomb strapped to his back. Alfie activates the explosive, annihilating Howell and the soldiers nearby. Haroun, with his final words, urges Joshua to destroy Nomad. Carrying Alfie and Maya's chip, Joshua attempts to escape, but is intercepted by American forces. They are separated and taken away just as Nomad's retaliatory strikes devastate the area. At a Los Angeles base, Andrews orders Joshua to terminate Alfie, claiming she holds no valuable data. Feigning compliance, Joshua whispers a command to Alfie, who enters standby mode, making her vitals appear lifeless. Believing her destroyed, Andrews directs Joshua to transport her to the incinerator. On their way, Alfie reactivates, revealing Joshua's plan. Using her abilities, she causes their vehicle to crash, blocking pursuit and allowing their escape. The pair races to a spaceport where Alfie manipulates the boarding systems, granting them access to a departing aircraft. Andrews, alerted to their escape, orders the pilot to return, but Alfie overrides the controls, directing the plane toward Nomad. After civilians disembark, guards storm the plane, only for Joshua to create a vacuum by opening the hatch, ejecting them into the sky. Preparing for their final mission, Joshua plants explosives while Andrews escalates with a full-scale missile on Sim settlements. Joshua entrusts Alfie with Maya's chip, urging her to halt the harm while he secures the explosive. Alfie navigates Nomad's labyrinthine corridors, disabling the missiles just in time. While searching for an escape route, Alfie stumbles upon a room housing dormant Sims, including one resembling Maya. Attempting to activate the Maya Sim with the chip, Alfie discovers it doesn't function. Amid the chaos, a few missiles strike and destroy robot villages. Joshua, suffocating as his suit's oxygen supply dwindles, is rescued by Alfie, who leads him to an air-filled chamber while she preps an escape pod. Andrews deploys a colossal octopus-like robot which captures Alfie. Joshua sacrifices their pod to sever the robot's tentacles, freeing her. As Andrews readies another harm, the robot ensnares Joshua, but Alfie disables it with her powers, sending it crashing to the ground. The bomb finally detonates, setting Nomad ablaze and neutralizing the missiles before they can detonate. With no time left, Joshua assures Alfie they'll reunite in heaven before sending her off in the escape pod. Resigned to his fate, Joshua ventures deeper into Nomad, where he encounters the reactivated Maya Sim. They embrace in a final kiss as the explosion consumes them both. Alfie's pod lands safely on Earth, where she joins the liberated simulants in celebration. Their long-fought freedom at last realized, the future promises hope for coexistence. And that concludes our story. And that's the end of this gripping saga, a battle between humanity and AI, where love, sacrifice, and hope light the way to a brighter future. But was this really the end of Joshua and Alfie's story, or the beginning of a new era for mankind and Sims? Let us know your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because we've got more epic recaps and stories coming your way.